Yes, people, back again after the NBA show, back straight off the bat of the NBA show. So make sure you guys, if you want to go check that one out, check that one out as well. Josh, Premier League show. Let's get started, man. Both teams 3 points this weekend. I'll happily take it.
Massive for each team.
Yep.
In controversy involving VAR for both games as well. So we'll definitely get into that. We've also got the Bournemouth Nottingham Forest game. That was a surprise result. Chelsea bottling it against Man City. Liverpool dismantling Ipswich. We've got all of it to come.
Yep. 4-1, 5-1 against, or 4-1 or 5-1 against Ipswich. 4-1, isn't it?
4-1, yeah.
4-1. So Liverpool got their result. Arsenal got their result. So the title race is still somewhat on in the sense, but because obviously you guys just beat Wolves. Who do you play Man City next, right? If I'm not mistaken, you play Man City.
Yeah, we do. After Girona midweek, yeah.
That's gonna be a good game to watch next week. I kind of like Arsenal Man City.
Is it going to be a good game to watch?
It should be a good game to watch. I reckon. Do you know what it is? I think Arsenal will turn up. I have a feeling Arsenal will turn up for these games. So, do you know what? It's gonna be interesting. We'll preview that next week. But people, make sure you guys like and share, subscribe to the video, and make sure you check out the previous stream if you haven't checked it out already. The NBA. If anyone's interested in NBA, I've just done an NBA stream with King, so make sure you guys go check him out, check his channel out, and check the video out as well because it's been a good stream. It's been a good talk with the All-Star break. We talked about the the NBA happened for the rest of the NBA that's happened this past week and such, and we talked about our teams as well. So yeah, all's good. But Josh, this week, we saw Arsenal win. Actually, we'll start with Arsenal first. Because obviously, there's been because we'll talk about the controversy about VAR. As you can see in the title under Josh's name, it says Mike Oliver and the clown emoji. I think we all can tell why we're all upset at Michael Oliver, and trust me, I have a lot to say about this guy because he's one of the worst referees I've seen.
Used to be the best. Used to be the best as well.
Used to be a decent ref. I used to, you know what, Michael Oliver wasn't a bad referee back then. But it's just as the years gone by, I just think he's just gotten worse. Decision making, not only decision making, but also his ability to listen to his assistant. It is what it is. But go on, I'll let you start, bro.
You know what really started my agenda against Michael Oliver?
Yeah,
I'll tell you. It was the fact that he went on to referee in the UAE for the Manchester City ownership group.
Right.
He comes back. He referees the Arsenal Manchester City fixture in October 2023. Kovacic with two blatant yellow card offences. Second one's a borderline red as well, and he refuses to send him off. Howard Webb, after the game, says that he decides not to do that, so he doesn't ruin the game. Okay. So apparently we can disregard the rules as long as Man City are benefiting. There's evidently a conflict of interest there. You skip forward a year later, there's that infamous match at the Etihad. Trossard, less than a second after the whistle has gone, kicks the ball away, meant to be a through ball to Martinelli, and Oliver decides to ruin the game. A year later, what's changed? What has changed?
It's changed.
This guy, and Cam, who's hopped on a few of your tennis streams, he has been a constant defender of Michael Oliver over the past year when I've called out the guy's absolute BS and his borderline corruption. And the weekend was his final straw with Michael Oliver, genuinely. All he's done is defend him, saying, oh, but you can't ruin the game. He's a FA qualified ref, by the way, this guy. And even he's finally thought enough is enough. He's finally thought enough is enough. That's how bad that decision was. If that is a genuine straight red offence, Rodri would be getting sent off about 20 times a season, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What is the logic behind it? Please tell me. You're 90 yards away from the Arsenal goal. You have Arsenal defenders back. He's tripped up a Wolves player. Yeah, he may have scraped his the back of his shin or whatever. But at the end of the day, replays, like slow motion replays, always let the challenge look worse. I'm absolutely disgusted by it. What on earth was that all about?
Just awful referee bro, it's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen watching in my 16 years of watching football. That's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. That is not a red card any day of the week. And if Arsenal do not appeal, or at least if the referees just don't overturn it themselves, I don't know what to say anymore. Because the letter of the law says, yes, studs are showing. I can see that. I can kind of see at the same time why he gave the red card, because the studs were showing. But he never intended to, kick him, higher on his shin. He meant to just stop the attack. That's a yellow card offense. I agree with the yellow card completely. The yellow, it's at least a yellow, 100%.
It is the textbook yellow card.
It was not even the last man. The guy was not even the last man back. He was in the Wolves the Wolves defending area, right? He was in the Wolves defensive half. So what does that mean? That means that it's not a goal scoring opportunity. I'll tell you what's a red card though. The foul on Declan Rice at the edge of the box. That is a goal scoring opportunity denied. That is a red card. That is more a red card than Lewis Skelly's red card. I'm sorry, that is one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. And I don't understand how Michael Oliver can look at himself and say, I gave that as a red card after that game. How has he after the game thought to himself, okay, I've not made a mistake here?
Because, if I'm not mistaken, sorry for cutting in. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same referee that didn't give Liverpool a penalty for Doku volleying McAllister's chest.
This is the same referee that had his watch off when Sheffield United scored a goal against Aston Villa that got Sheffield United relegated.
No, it kept Aston Villa up.
It kept Aston Villa up. Exactly. If Sheffield United had won that game, Aston Villa would have been relegated. Grealish would have left to Man United. He left to Man United, bro, because we're going to sign Grealish that year, right? 40 million. If Aston Villa got relegated, that's done. That's Villa gone, then their players are leaving. So Michael Oliver has pretty much kept Villa up with his watch off. Like, how do you fumble that? I'm sorry, how do you fumble that? But Michael Oliver has had so many errors in the Premier League. How have the FA not looked at Michael Oliver?
Why on earth is he still? Why the hell is he still refereeing Manchester City games? Can you explain that to me? He has literally been paid by that same ownership to referee in the UAE. Surely there's a conflict of interest there. Surely for the integrity of the league, you don't allow him to referee Man City games or games that directly affect Man City. Why is he still refereeing Arsenal games? Considering where like.
The one thing I will say is though, like, referees are bad for every team, right? But we're not.
Apart from City and Newcastle.
We're not here. Yeah, fair. But we're not here to say referees are the reason why we lose games, or referees are the reason why that we don't score goals and stuff. But this is what ruins the game. It's what ruins the beauty of the game, because you can't be like. We all talk about integrity in sports, right? And we all talk about, how corruption has kind of taken over the level of sport, right? This right here is something that has probably gone to the next level and be like, yeah, how have you not looked at this? How have the FA not looked at this? How have, PGMOL not something about it? Because there's been times where, referees have gotten away with decision after decision after decision, and they've been backed by it because they're each other's mates, There was a time where a referee apparently said that, no, because he's my mate, I don't want to make him look bad, Mate, accountability is the best thing. It's the best ability. Like, if you can't hold someone accountable, you don't deserve to be a referee. I'm sorry. You are each other's assistant. You correct your friend, your supposed pal that you're working with. You correct him and tell him that you're wrong here. I'm gonna correct you. I'm not gonna make you look bad. There's VAR for a reason. Use VAR. They didn't even look at VAR. It's not. He said it's not a clear and obvious error. They're gonna stick with the on-field decision. And I'm like,
bear in mind this red card has big repercussions as well, because not only does he miss Man City, he also misses Newcastle in the second leg. Now, I've obviously said I don't think we're going to come back from a 2-goal deficit. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you've seen Michael Oliver in the Newcastle shirt. The guy's a Geordie. I'm sorry, but surely there's. Bro, I know I sound like a top gooner in this stream, but genuinely, there's got to be something weird going on with the payments from City's owners and whatnot. It's crazy.
He refereed the Carabao Cup final between us and Newcastle. Although, yes, we still won, but he was the referee for the Newcastle game, for the United Newcastle game. How make it make sense? But I just want to bring Jan into this. Jan, how are you, bro? It's been a while. Welcome back to the show, man.
Yeah, hey man, thanks for having me back. Yeah, I
Nah,
remember those incidents, the Kovacic yellow cards not
yeah.
given. I remember that one. I remember the Trossard red. Yeah, it's I can't disagree with anything you're saying. I mean, the decision was
Thank you.
shocking to send off Lewis Skelly. That was absolutely.
That was
I get
horrendous.
it. The studs are showing, but come on, like that's not a red. Like no
No
way.
intent to go high.
I
There's
think
no
the Kovacic tackle we're referring to is actually probably worse than
It
the
is.
tackle, the direct red. Yeah, so yeah, crazy, really.
But what are your thoughts on like the referees as a whole? Because obviously we're not blaming referees for like losses in games. We're not blaming for referees like we can't score or such and such. But decisions like this, like I said, ruins the sport. Decisions like this just makes the sport look so like the ratings will go down because of this. Because of incidents like this, because of decisions like this, and we've seen it in the past in many games where we clearly see from the screen and the replay is that even in slow motion, they can look at it and be like, sure, that you can correct your decision.
Mm.
Because I remember one time I was watching United, right, in the FA Cup. Victor Lindelof got sent off for a second yellow card against Wolves one time, and they looked at it and they overturned the second yellow card. So at least come on, at least that's a yellow card. You can you can do. You give him a yellow card first, and then look at VAR and be like, okay, is there malice in that?
Yeah, I'll say two things on that. I mean, one on like referees in general. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, my experience is shit balances out. Maybe fans of other clubs feel differently, but I think in my years of watching, I've seen enough decisions go against us, and I've seen enough go for us that I'm still angry at the Liam Delap dive from the Ipswich game a few weeks ago. But like, you know what? I'm sure that we probably got one from like a Sterling dive, and we will get one from a Madueke dive in a couple of weeks, and it'll be fine. This shit balances out. This kind of happens.
Yeah, it balances
So
out.
I don't feel like bad refereeing has greatly changed my experience as a fan. But on VAR, yeah, not sending that to VAR is crazy, and this clear and obvious thing needs to be clarified. I think drop the clear and obvious shit and just have it be we check every single red card, every single goal for fouls and offside, because they do that anyways. When it's convenient for them, they'll cancel a goal for a very small foul, way long in the build up, but then the times they won't look at a blatantly wrong red card. Just every major consequential decision gets checked. Yellow cards do not get checked. Even second yellows do not get checked. But every major consequential decision gets checked. And then if just send the guy to the screen to look at it again. If you think it's wrong, just fucking send the guy. You don't have to override him. You don't have to take away his authority. But just be like, are you sure? Do you want to have a second look at this? And then if the guy has second look and is still sure, then then what can we say? But every consequential decision should get checked. If the VAR says that's wrong, make him look. Just make him look.
Yeah, go and check the screen. There's a screen right there for you to go and have a look.
Just get rid of it. You're not going to use it properly.
Run to the screen, have a look. Slow mo. People look at things in slow motion anyway. We don't look at things in in real time, because obviously with red cards nowadays, with like incidents like that. Because I remember the Casemiro incident last year, or 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago. Yeah, Casemiro got a red card against Southampton for touching the ball first, and his shin went up to kick the Southampton player afterwards. That got turned to a red card but apparently the follow throughs don't count. He touched the ball first. That is not a red card. If you get the ball first, all contact is diminished. It's deleted, because you can't, because if you touch the ball first, there's no malice. In trying to get the player. It's about getting the ball. It's about you getting the ball first. That's the first thing you look at. You don't look at anything else. If he touches the ball, nothing else. Yes, he might have come off. The Southampton player was even surprised that the guy got sent off. Wasn't even saying it was a foul. And on the weekend as well, like offside as well is another thing, right? Amad Diallo scored a good goal. It was a goal, and I'm sorry, his arm was offside. The other player's arm was also in an offside position, but shoulder was playing him onside. I'm thinking, bro, how have you not brought in the offside technology?
Yes,
in the world?
this one, the semi-automated offside
You
technology.
need to put this in.
I saw it at the
man.
Asian Cup. It was perfect. I mean, it was
Bro.
brilliant. I saw it happening live. It was great.
Yeah.
Perfect in the Champions League as well.
Champions
Yeah.
League, Europa League, World Cup, World Cup, bro.
Yeah.
What is the mistake? One mistake with the World Cup, because obviously I think Lautaro Martinez was onside for one of the goals against Saudi, but that's one mistake out of like what, like how many? Like they don't make many mistakes with this.
And they do it quick. It gets done much faster than a human being having to position the angle. Get that. How can you have a multi-billion-dollar product like the Premier League and not have that? It's
so-called best league in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely isn't. Absolutely isn't. With these referees, Premier League is not the best league in the world. And considering Man City have won the league 6 times in 7 seasons, it absolutely sure as crap is.
It is. But about referees, like, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't blame referees for you losing a game or you not being able to score a goal. It's just the decisions like ruin the flow, ruin the beauty of the game. That's what we're talking about here.
That was the excuse for Kovacic last year.
I mean, you guys still won the game, but at the same time, he should.
That doesn't matter though. That's the thing.
No, I agree with you. It's a red card, 100%. 100% is a red card. He not only did, but twice in the same game. Twice. Got away with twice in the same game. Didn't even get a second yellow card. Didn't even get a yellow card the first time, second time, Didn't even look at VAR, bro. I'm telling you this right now. VAR is not the issue here. VAR has not been an issue at all. It's been the people using it. They don't know how to use it. They just worry that the friend's gonna look bad in terms of image. I'm like, you're there to correct him. Why don't you correct your friend? They all talk about, but he's my mate. I don't want to get it wrong. Like, why? He gets it wrong, you correct him. You don't just tell him like, but nah, I don't want to make you look bad. What? It makes no sense.
It's the lack of consistency as well. Because you're talking about VAR overruling decisions. Yeah, I specifically remember Saliba getting his yellow card overturned against Bournemouth. The day later, Chelsea travelled to Anfield. The exact same situation happens. I can't remember who it was. Gian might be able to tell me. I think it was Tosin on Gakpo or someone, and he didn't get sent off. Literally the same weekend, same exact decision, and you don't give the red. Genuinely, the lack of consistency is mind blowing.
Same decision, man, and this will take me back to even like, why do they still draw lines, man? Why do they still draw lines? If you know what line you should draw? You should draw the line of who is the last man back. Of who's the last man back, so you can give the red card or a yellow card.
This is crazy. They can't even draw lines properly. They can't even draw lines properly. Do you remember the Brentford game?
Bro, look at the pitch. Look at the pitch. The pitch, they have lines on the pitch. Use the lines on the pitch, They paste the lines on the pitch. It's right there. But yeah, I understand you mean the Brentford game. Ivan Toney goal that he scored against Arsenal 2 years ago, right? 2
crucial points dropped as well. I know, Gian. I know we've never spoken to each other. I sound like the toppest of top gooners, but genuinely, I'm never normally like this. These referees have seriously pissed me off now.
No, fair enough. I mean, it's like, I would be the same if my team got a red card like that. Thank
you, because you were talking about like it eventually balances yourself, but no other team has got a second yellow for kicking the ball away. No other team has had their yellow card rescinded for a red for taking down the last man. No other team has had a player sent off for stopping a counter attack 90 yards away from goal. This is what drives me insane. It's like Arsenal have the lab rats for the Premier League referees. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
The only other second yellow I remember is the Van Persie one in the Camp Nou. So yeah, you're kind of right. No, I mean, I fully believed like in the Barcelona conspiracy back in the day.
Yeah, you got robbed at Stamford Bridge. That was an absolute scummy game.
That one. I fully believe that conspiracy, but looking back, I don't know anymore. But maybe, I mean, I know we got robbed that day, but was it some grand Barcelona conspiracy? I don't know. I don't know. Is there an Oliver conspiracy with UAE? Look, the pieces are there. I don't know.
He's a Newcastle fan, so I think he's been, told to go to Saudi to referee game. But was it UAE? It was
UAE.
UAE.
But still, like, it's crazy how referees get away with shit like this. Still,
I mean, wasn't City already caught paying Mancini through a UAE club? Like they were literally paying him consultants fees
I think it was
to a
just a
UAE
few.
club,
I
and it like
don't think
already came out. I'm pretty sure it's already like that is official. That's already out. And then
Yeah.
still, but I can't say shit because I'm sure that Clear Lake does worse stuff. I mean, like the Clear Lake, the stuff they're doing with selling players to Saudi Arabia. We sold like a random Brazilian kid for like 20 million euros to Al Nassr, and like
right.
PIF is a huge investor in Clear Lake. So like we are also fully corrupt. Like, I mean, football's broken. Basically, you've allowed this money into football, and like everyone is vulnerable. It's just completely. It's a broken sport, and we have to live with it.
I still don't
basically.
understand why they haven't looked at stopping clocks while they're checking VAR. If they really think it's a waste of time, then stop the clock. Try and find something that you can stop the clock with, because I don't understand. Like, people say, oh, it's a waste of time. There's still so many minutes added on. So, like how the NBA has stoppages when they're checking when they have timeouts. Obviously, you don't have timeouts in football, but when they're checking a decision, right? When they're going to the screen, when you're challenging a call, right? In NFL and in NBA, right? They go over to the monitor, they check everything. All the referees at once, they check everything. Check and see if they overturn the decisions or anything like that. On-field decision, the original decision was this. You're gonna overturn it. Go stop the clock and check it then. If the really thing is a waste of time, then do so. Because I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense, man. And trust me, I think we can go all day all night talk about this referee thing. But let's get back to Premier League. I think Premier League is where focus should be. But
Apologies.
No, it's okay. I want to start. Oh, this is the perfect topic to start off with, honestly, because it was corruption. Ahmad Diallo was onside as well, by the way. Just wanted to say. He was onside. I'll show you the picture right now. Jan. He was onside. Look at this. He was clearly onside, man. Like by a long distance. See this. That is not offside, bro. His arms in an onside position, bro.
Yeah, that's onside, mate.
That's onside, bro. How do you give that offside, bro? He's not even touching the red line. That's how crazy. He's not even touching the red line. The red line's looking at his shoulder, bro. Yeah, so I'm saying the lines need to be binned and stuff like that. But yeah, let's move on to, obviously, let's start with I think we started off with Arsenal. So Josh, you go ahead with talk with the performance and everything like that.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty dead 43 minutes until that red card, which obviously wasn't a red card that we've discussed for the previous 22 minutes. So even with 10 men, I believe we were a better team. I think Wolves are a poor side. They are a poor side. There's no getting away from that. And when Michael Oliver decided to level the playing field because he realised what a terrible decision it was, we eventually stepped up, and Calafiori with his aura got us another 3 points. So, we're still only 6 points behind Liverpool, but I've said this before: we're not going to catch them. It's Liverpool's title to win. But at the end of the day, considering the circumstances, it was a bloody good 3 points to get, and I'm proud of the Bloods.
Have two tough games coming up, though. I know you have Man City, but they have Bournemouth and Everton. They're not easy. Both the way as well. Liverpool having 2 tough games. Bournemouth, I can see them losing. I can possibly see Bournemouth getting something out of that game.
I don't.
But we'll give our predictions later. But yeah, obviously, I watched the Arsenal game. You were the better team for the majority of the game. I reckon you guys. I just think your lack of ability to finish, your ability to not being able to finish in front of goal, I think is what's your biggest issue right now.
28 days into January, no attacking signings.
No attacking signings. Only talked about players possibly being sold or something like that. And it's mad. Even we haven't signed a left. Bro, it's been 28 days into January. We haven't signed a left back. We needed a left back. We need a striker. We haven't signed anyone. We've only talked about selling Garnacho, selling Rashford. We've not talked about.
Insane. And I do not want Garnacho. Please do not send him to us. For God's sake,
bro.
I do not want him.
The thing is,
I was saying from the start. Just Garnacho came up, so I've been saying from his debut, this guy's extremely overrated. And then he scored that overhead kick, and all of you lost your collective minds, you United fans. And I'm like, no, he's mid. And now that you finally all come around to be like, okay, he's mid. It
Do you
took
know
a while,
what?
but we all come around to the.
I'll tell you when I started noticing his drop off. It was actually last season. I just didn't say anything much. It was actually towards was it the FA Cup game, or was it around the mid season of last year? I was like, you know what, it's his second season. I'll cut him some slack. But then now he's not better than what he was. When he first came in, I was like, you know what? He had a decent debut season. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Right? Second season, okay. It's his second season. But now it's third year. Now I think is where you need to be ruthless now. Cut the crap. He's been awful to watch. Just performance wise, he's been awful, man. I'm sorry. And I just think now I don't want him to sell him to Chelsea, because if we sell him to Chelsea and he does thrive at Chelsea, that's where I'm like, okay, we need to look into that and be like, don't do the same we did with Sancho, because Sancho's doing well at Chelsea. He's doing decent at Chelsea right now.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah.
What we could do is go to Napoli, talk to them about a swap deal with Osimhen. If you're gonna offer this much money, you might as well get Osimhen, you know?
Yeah, I think that's actually on the cards because they need a Kvara replacement.
We need a striker. We need a striker, man. We need Højlund, bro. Højlund again. I'll talk about the Fulham game in a bit, but Højlund was dead against Fulham, man. He was awful again. So we need a striker, but
That could be on the cards.
yeah, I agree. 28 days into January, you need to sign somebody. And yeah, any last thoughts on Arsenal? Or move on to City Chelsea? Done with Arsenal?
Yeah.
All right, Jan, you can talk with City Chelsea.
Not much to say, except the fact that we apparently spent 44 million euros on keepers this summer. One of them signed from Genk, sent back to Genk. One sitting on our bench. We loan out Petrovic to our multi-club model Strasbourg, and somehow after spending all that money, we're stuck with this guy who he just doesn't have any brains. That's it. What else is there to say? How do you spend that much money on goalkeepers? Have that many goalkeepers? You have Arrizabalaga at Bournemouth doing a great job. Petrovic at Strasbourg doing a great job. Jorgensen on the bench. One bad game with Ipswich, he doesn't see the pitch again, and one guy out on loan. I think how are we stuck with Robert Sanchez? Why do they spend this kind of money and then not use the players they buy? First of all, first question is, why do you spend this kind of money? It's not working. Really, it's ridiculous. But even ignoring that, how do you end up in a situation where the goal we conceded against Wolves, catch the ball, and just went into the net?
Yeah, sorry to cut out.
The City, the misjudgment of everything in that situation, misjudged literally everything about it. It's crazy. Everything else about the team, fine, And look, I'm very patient. The entire team is young. The average age of the team is much younger than the average age of previous Premier League winners. So I understand that it's going to take a long time. I think if you told me before the season we'd come fifth with Maresca, I'd be happy enough with it. Obviously, I want to come in the top four, but I'd be happy enough with fifth. And I think if you objectively look at Chelsea's squad, we actually have the talent to dominate games against other big teams. I mean, even Arne Slot himself said the only game he thought Liverpool were not the better team in was against Chelsea. We just don't have the mentality for it. And that's not a surprise because our squad's the average age is 23.9. That's the average age of our team. So I'm not surprised at all that we don't have the mental fortitude yet to dominate games. And that will come with time. The hardest thing is the talent, and we've already acquired it. We've already made the big investment to acquire it. So just be patient and let these kids grow from experience. And that's it. What else to say? And replace the keeper. Start Jorgensen from right now, because he's fine. Nothing wrong with him at all. Just start him.
He's awful. What was he thinking, man? What was he thinking, bro? Sanchez, once again, why did he come out of his goal?
I have no idea. I've actually lost for words. I actually have no idea.
Sanchez is a terrible. I think he's the worst keeper in the league. I think
possibly.
I'd go as far as to say he's the worst keeper in the league. I say Onana and him are just right there together. Onana's not that good of a keeper. I don't rate Onana, but I think he's better than Sanchez.
Yeah. No, honestly, yeah. Like the failure to catch that against Wolves, that was like, okay, we're done here. We're actually done. You cannot be a Premier League keeper anymore.
You have You brought Trevor Chalobah back. Fair play. I like the idea of bringing him back. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, because this Axel disaster is finally leaving the club, which I'm looking forward to. I don't know how much we're gonna get for him. Apparently Villa want him. That's the news today. I don't know how much we're gonna get for him, but I much prefer Chalobah, especially academy graduates. Get him in. He can play that role. And we have Josh Achiampong, who is honestly like one of the best young defenders I've seen in a long time. He's just incredible. Obviously he can get bullied sometimes. He's not the strongest, but everything else, positioning, timing, ability on the ball, this guy is gonna be a huge talent, and he's perfect for that role as like the right back that sort of sits in the defensive side right back. He's perfect for that. So making a makeshift three, like tucking in and making a makeshift three with him on one side, Levi Cole on the other side. And then in the middle you can have, Chalobah, Tosin, Badia Shield, whoever as the middle, and then Josh and Levi on either side.
Is Levi left-footed center back?
Yes, Levi's left-footed. So Levi plays left center back, Disasi, and then it will be Josh in the future as the right back who tucks in to make a makeshift three. The problem is that middle center back between Tosin, Badia Shield, and what's his face now? Tosin, Badia Shield, and Chalobah. Between the three of them, there's not much between them. There's no real standout who's excellent. So that's kind of it. It just needs time, I don't think buying another one is going to help, because how much better can you get in this market?
Keeper,
you can't get Ruben Diaz or somebody. How much better can you get in this market? So you just need time. Let those three fight it out. Whichever one emerges as the best center back.
You Petrovic, man. You should have kept Petrovic, man. He was a better keeper.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bro, I think he was your keeper in what was it, the FA Cup semi-final last year? He looked decent, bro.
Honestly, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I would. Arrizabalaga comes back, I would make him the first choice next year.
Pepper's had a decent season. He's actually had a decent season.
Pepper first choice next year, and then Jorgensen growing up through, because Petrovic cannot distribute. He cannot pass. He's a good shot, but he cannot pass. And the way Maresca wants to play, you need to play with your feet. I mean, look at Tottenham, right? They just signed that new keeper, because Foster couldn't control the football to save his life, and the value that adds. I mean, they obviously went and cocked it up by losing their games, but the value that he adds in build up is huge. So Petrovic, I understand why Petrovic maybe is not going to be the long-term solution, but Kepa short-term, Jorgensen long-term. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's fair. Josh, what are your thoughts on obviously Chelsea and what he said? Because I agree with what he said. I think the thing is I think Chelsea needs to invest in the new keeper. That's number one. Number two, defense needs to be sorted out in a way, because I like Trevor Chalobah. I think he's a very good player. I think bringing him back was the right move. Levi Colwell is also decent, so you play him next to each other, and obviously Kukurea and James, good fullbacks, good like players that can go up with the ball very well. Reece James, when he's fit, probably the best right back in the league for me. But the thing is with Reece James, he's had bad luck with injuries lately, so I think Chelsea will have to try and look into maybe bringing in a backup right back and left back.
No, I think Achiampong will be that. Achiampong will be the backup right back, and he'll tuck inside. I think that's the way. I don't buy anyone else, because if you don't play this kid, he's gonna move, and a big club will come in for him. I'm really Real Madrid going for him. So do not sign anybody. Give this kid a chance.
That's fair. And so I just think Chelsea needs to just need to look into the defensive areas. That's what I think. But Josh, what are your thoughts, mate?
Well, Akivin, I told you just before we started the stream that I don't know how Chelsea have spent the money of the GDP of a small country. Yeah. And they've still got Robert Sanchez as their starting goalkeeper. It honestly boggles the mind. I was really disappointed in Chelsea. I thought Manchester City were definitely there for the taking, and you had the absolute godsend of a 1-0 lead within 3 minutes. Palmer, I expected him to disappear, but I don't want to sound rude, but in terms of his performances against Big Six sides, in terms of goal and assist output, I knew that he wouldn't do much, and I don't know. It just feels it just felt inevitable. I think Enzo Maresca has entered his bottling phase in terms of we saw Leicester last season. I think it was 14 points clear with Leicester in the Championship, and he almost let that slip.
Yeah.
I think. I feel if Chelsea don't get top 4 this season, that is an absolute travesty. Because I think I was watching some Chelsea fans' reactions after the game, like Carefree Lewis and whatnot. And apparently, I don't know if it was Clear Lake or Bowley himself or anything, but they were talking about how they aim to be competing by 2028 and they want to be in the Champions League by 2026. And I'm surely thinking, if you're investing that much into the club, if you're selling hotels outside the club to go along with FFP rules and whatever, surely you've got to expect immediate success there. And I know that's rich coming from an Arsenal fan, banter and all that, but I was really disappointed because Man City were shaky. And I think it sums it up where Nicholas Jackson was comforting the I can't remember what his name is, but it was the new signing for City. He's only been there for 4 days, and Jackson was comforting him. Imagine Diego Costa.
Yeah.
After that Man City player made a mistake, he would have been absolutely tearing him a new one. Pep would have subbed him before half time, and Chelsea would have had at least 2 more goals to their name. Yeah, I think that's the difference in mentality since Roman Abramovich has left the club.
I think we did because he made his debut for Man City a year after he played Thailand, wasn't it?
Yeah, he played Thailand exactly a year ago. Like this week, a year ago, he was marking Supanat, and he was marking. Yeah, it's weird. I watched a game. He stood out obviously at the Asian Cup level, but no. Yeah. On the thing about the immediate success, I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah.
If this is a strategy from Clear Lake, and maybe I could be wrong. They could be stupid, but I think the idea is football is going to like inflate. Like the values, shit gets more expensive every year. So we're gonna come in now. We're gonna sign a team that we know is not ready, but we're buying potential. And we're intentionally buying players in this 2021 age bracket so that we can amortize over 10 years. And they've already closed that loophole now of the 10-year contract.
Yeah.
Amortization thing. They've closed that loophole already. So my sense, and I could be wrong, is that the money spent is going to substantially decrease in the coming years. Like the idea is we're going to put our capital in upfront, and we're going to build the team that will grow into the final product, as opposed to like Arteta at Arsenal. I'll buy one piece a year and then slowly piece together a team. I think the idea is actually we'll buy all the pieces at once for a huge amount of money, but then those pieces will serve us for 8 years.
I think your attack outshines your defense. Really, I think your attack is what's the strongest part of your team. It's the reason why you guys win games. Defensively, you guys have not been that great. I've been reiterating this from the start of the year. I said Chelsea defensively, they look really shaky. It's all about your attack. I think your attack is where I think you've got the most depth, the most.
But that's a natural consequence of this approach, because center backs mature slower than forwards and midfielders. Like defenders take longer time to get comfortable at an elite level than other positions. So if the idea is we're going to buy all the pieces of a new team at the same time, it's only natural that the defense would be the worst part of it. That's completely natural. That makes sense. That's fine. I don't know, like Michael, again, maybe they're just throwing money at. Maybe it is a massive money laundering operation, and I don't know about it. But assuming it's not, that's what I think they're going for.
Fair enough. But we have to get Puzanov, obviously making his debut for Man City in a massive game. Obviously, fellow Asian, Uzbekistan.
I'm shocked they played him. him. I was like, no way.
And he made a mistake, and it kind of looked bad on him, because obviously you can't really like say he's the reason why Chelsea, we're on
he's really not a Pep center back.
He's not the problem.
He's not a Pep center back at all. He's not good on the ball. He's not really like defensively aware. He's just quick and strong.
In Kyle Walker, he surely can't replace Kyle Walker.
No, he's like a West Ham center back, like solid in a 3, just a massive pace destroyer, big guy. He's not
Right.
good on the ball. I'm shocked that he's a Pep signing, first of all. And second of all, I'm shocked that he starts against Chelsea. Like, I don't know. I don't know what Pep is cooking. Maybe he's lost his mind after his divorce. I have no idea. But to spend that kind of money on Marmoush as well, when you don't, sure, potential, fine. But like, really, now, with all the problems you have in the team in midfield, your solution was to spend, 70 million on a winger when you have Doku and Grealish. Like, this whole recruitment, it's ridiculous. Like, you didn't sign a DM. You had 75 million in your back
That should
pocket.
have been the one.
You didn't sign a midfielder, and you went and signed a winger when you have Savinho, you have Oscar Bob who's going to come back, you have Doku, you have Grealish. What the heck were they thinking? I don't get it. I actually don't. I'm actually so lost.
City is selling McAtee now, so they're gonna get someone in return. But obviously, Marmoush is a very good signing. I rate the signing, but the thing
is, but is it really the priority now? Like, when you have 75 million, like you could go and get a really, really elite midfielder, and you haven't. Are you kidding? They could have signed De Jong for that amount. They could have signed like a really deep line playmaker who could change their fortunes because Kovacic is aging. What are they doing?
Because now, bro, Rodri's going to come back, right? He's not going to play 70 games a year for Man City anymore. He can't play that many games anymore, especially with injury.
You need a deep line playmaker who can play with and without Rodri.
They have to cut his minutes when he first comes back. They're going to need another defensive midfield. So why don't you go and invest in a defensive midfield for the rest of the year? You're pretty much you're on the brink of Champions League elimination, right? FA Cup, you're still in it. Premier League, I don't see them winning it. Carabao Cup, they ain't winning Carabao Cup. What else can they win? FA Cup. They don't need to make reinforcements to win the FA Cup. But if you want to do well in the Champions League, if you want to qualify for the playoffs of the Champions League, you need to go and invest. You need to go and invest in a defensive midfield. That's number one. Defensive midfield should have been one that was addressed since Rodri got injured. They should have looked into that. Zubimendi should have been one that maybe you should look at. Although I think Zubimendi might go Arsenal now. I don't know. We'll see. However,
he's pretty much confirmed. Yeah.
At this rate, like, Man City needs to look into defensive midfield department. I agree.
But he needed a backup for Rodri since Calvin Phillips failed. I mean, I think that's why they were so dead set on getting Declan Rice last summer.
Even because they should have had one when they sold Fernandinho. That's when they should have bought one. Fernandinho was the guy.
Well, they should have kept Lavia.
Yeah, they should have. Absolutely, they should have. Yeah.
But the Man City just want to profit off their academy. So I can kind of understand why they sold him, but at the same time, wrong timing.
I think Man City's transfer business has been really poor since the summer of 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really poor.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel it was complete and utter negligence bringing Gundogan back and not doing anything about the aging midfield in particular. I mean, you think Stones is 30 plus, Silva's 30 plus, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, there's just complete neglect. Kyle Walker. I mean, he's been poor for 2 seasons now. I don't know how he got in the Euros team of the tournament because he single-handedly cost England the final.
Have they changed who does their transfers? Have they changed their sporting director or whatever?
Look at this, They've got what? Haaland Alvarez that year, that 2022-2023 year, the year they won the treble.
Haaland and Alvarez in the same summer.
But what have they done ever since? I think Gabardio's been their only amazing signing after that. Other than that, they've not made an impressive signing.
Even then, Gabardio's been suspect defensively this year. So.
Okay, Marmoush might be someone that can make City better in attack, because I think City have been lackluster in attack. That's where I think Phil Foden's not been the same. He's looked a lot better since Kevin De Bruyne has come back. But even then, Kevin De Bruyne can't play 90 minutes a game. He comes off the bench. So even then, why are you looking at why are you looking at an attacker other than a defensive midfielder that will solidify your midfield? Because you've been getting carved through by teams like Villa, Bournemouth, Brighton, United.
Why did they not go for a midfielder with the 75 million?
Liverpool could have made it 7-0 first half. Because they benched De Bruyne. They played Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis is not a midfielder. But I don't know, man. Man City, I think, will sort it out in summer. I think they'll sort it out. But I think this is the most we've talked about Man City. I think this is the most we've talked about Man City ever since I've done these Premier League shows or something that is crazy. Yeah. But moving on, I think. But any last words on Man City or anything before we move on? Or are you guys all good?
All good.
I think they'll still qualify for the Champions League. I reckon they'll do the job against Bruges at home. But
I hope Bruges get something, but yeah.
oh yeah, the footballing world does, but I doubt they will.
I'm gonna go with I'll give my predictions later. Actually, let's go to. I mean, Liverpool
5-0.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Definitely, the other big one is Bournemouth 5-0.
Yeah, Liverpool. Not really much to talk about Liverpool. I think this is a 4-1 win for any slot. Liverpool, they just.
We all expected that.
Yeah.
They're winning it. Yeah.
I think they'll continue to perform, but next games are tough though. They got a double game week next week. They got Bournemouth and Everton on back to back. That's not going to be easy for Liverpool. If Liverpool drop points, Arsenal need to capitalize. No excuses. If Liverpool do drop points at Bournemouth, Arsenal need to capitalize. And I know it's against Man City, and I know you're playing at home. Not going to be easy, but we'll see what's going to happen then. I reckon Arsenal can get something out of the game still. But moving on, yeah, I think we all talk about Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
and because obviously you guys have a lot to say about Bournemouth, and I know Jan's been willing to talk about Andoni Iraola for a long time.
Yeah. Dude, what a manager! What a guy!
That's brilliant. With about 9 players out as well. It's brilliant.
Two hat-tricks in a week, 9 goals scored in 2 games, 1 goal conceded. Crazy, bro. How have you taken this Bournemouth team, bro? If you look at this Bournemouth team on paper, it looks like a relegation fodder side. It looks like at least bottom 5 side, or at least near bottom 5 side. This team that if you read on paper, this Kluivert, right? He's a good player, but not like elite level.
And they're all so young as well. Kirkes, Huijsen,
Semenyo, Kirkes. They're not world class. But Bournemouth have done something very, very good. They've done something very, very
Ouattara, Kluivert, all these are so young, and they're achieving this incredible. It's just fantastic what he's doing, and I'm so happy because I'm just happy for them. He's incredible.
Who's that Bournemouth defender that they have again? I forgot his name.
Huijsen.
Yeah,
unbelievable. How Juventus sold him for
Bournemouth.
15 million euro because he was on loan at Roma the year before. And Mourinho realized this guy is one of the best young defenders in Europe. Juventus let him go 15 million euro. And now Bournemouth are going to sell him in the summer, I think, for 60 million euro, at least in the summer. At least 60 million euro. With the quality that he has.
Senesi is another one. Senesi.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
I didn't these 2 games, you know. I didn't expect him to even at least score more than 5, let alone like win the game. At least, do you know what, against Newcastle, at least they'll lose respectfully. But they went and slapped Newcastle on the road. They came to a Nottingham Forest who were second at the time of playing.
Joint seconds, yeah.
Slapped them up 5-0. Like, this is Bournemouth we're talking about, you know? We're not talking about Man City, Liverpool, or prime Man United. We're talking Bournemouth in 2025.
Yeah.
This is something that I never thought I'd see, you know? Bournemouth. Josh, take it away, man.
Well, I think that's 11 Premier League games without defeat for Bournemouth, with about 7 wins sprinkled in there. I think the last time they lost was against Brighton at home in like early December. It might have been late October even. They've been absolutely insane.
Mental. And
I think, I can't remember the guy's name, but I swear he's Bournemouth's third choice striker. And he scored a hat-trick. I mean, Iraola is an absolutely wonderful manager. He's beaten Arteta. He's beaten Pep.
He's beaten Ruben.
Should have beaten Maresca as well.
Yeah, probably should have beaten. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a Reece James free kick in the last second, wasn't it?
That was very.
And even in the reverse fixture, I think Robert Sanchez saved a penalty. So they're just an incredible team to watch at the minute. Yeah. Like I said before, last stream, like they've been a credit to English football this year. It's wonderful to see England being such a competitive league after 4 straight years of Man City just pulverising everyone. Once the business end begins.
I wouldn't say it's been competitive because Liverpool have pretty much dominated, but in terms of like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, probably, yeah. Newcastle looking good as well this year as well. I think Newcastle, do you know what with Newcastle, like, if they hadn't had all these injuries last year, if they hadn't had they weren't so inconsistent last year. Yes, they had European football. Yes, I know that they got
They were
robbed
robbed as well.
against PSG. They shouldn't have been robbed. I agree. But if Newcastle actually had the consistency, if Newcastle maybe invested a bit more, because they had the money. Let's not forget, they've got the owners. They've got the money. If Newcastle get a few more pieces, right? If they get Champions League football this year, they get more pieces, bro. Newcastle can be a force. They'll 100% be a force. So I agree that the Premier League is evolving, and I think there'll be a lot more teams competing. So it'll be tough for teams that are going to rebuild. Okay, my team, going to rebuilds. It'll be tougher to get back to the top because there'll be more teams wanting to compete. Bournemouth are gonna probably sell their best players. I don't think Bournemouth are gonna sustain like their place in the top 8, top 6 next year. I think Newcastle will still be there. Villa, they've had a drop off this year. Like I said, I predicted at the start of the year because of the Champions League football, because of the scheduling. I called this as well. Aston Villa would struggle in terms of scheduling, in terms of squad depth. That's where I said Aston Villa would struggle. But to at least, you know what, to get the teams that, back in the day, Forest and Villa were a force back in the day, right?
Both European Cup winners, yeah.
Even though I don't like Leeds, you need Leeds back now to compete. You need Leeds to come back now, and then it'll be like the old classic.
That's happening. That's for sure happening.
It'll be like the old classic English football again, old classic, and then it'll be United, Chelsea, Arsenal. Let's roll back the years, man. Let's roll back the years, man. This Man City shit. I'm tired of Man City, man. as much as they've kind of demonstrated how standards should be, I agree with the standards Man City have. Like I rate the standards that they have, but at the same time, I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. They win literally nearly every year. Fair play to them for doing what's the aim of an elite sport. But I'm sorry, it's getting boring now. So, but I still don't want Liverpool to win. However, it is what it is. Roll back the years, man. Let's roll back the years. Let's get our clubs back to the top again, competing.
The original Big Four. Once Sky started marketing it, for TV.
United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. That was the original top 4. That was the original top 4, and then the people brought Tottenham into this because Tottenham were like what, apparently a big club.
And like, fancy stadium.
Bro, let's move on to Spurs right now. Actually, you know what? Let's get.
I have to go. So with one sentence on Spurs. Well, I think if they don't win the Carabao Cup, I think Andrew's. I mean, how is he still there? Frankly, I love the guy, but how is he still there? It's a joke. And it's suicide ball every week.
I just think they're waiting for the Europa League this week to see where Spurs finish and to see the Carabao Cup semi-final result. That's it.
So
I think Conte meltdown happened when they were like in 5th. That Conte meltdown when he lost his man to like 5th or 6th, and then
it was 7th.
Like 8th one.
Okay, something like that. They were somewhat near the top 4, and then now they're like 12th.
Do you remember when they were the clear favorite Conference League? They couldn't play their last game.
Yeah,
they completely forfeited it, didn't they?
Crazy.
They weren't allowed to play the last game because of apparently some squad issues or something. They didn't have enough squad.
COVID, wasn't it? Like they had too many COVIDs.
Yeah, I think it was COVID. Yeah,
something like that.
But they should have rescheduled that match, man. Tottenham might have won a trophy. Then again, they might have bottled that one as well. Roma.
They would have done, yeah.
I don't know, man. Tottenham losing to Leicester at home. Like Leicester lost 7 straight prior to this.
Leicester are a poor side, a very poor side.
Spurs have not won a home game in the Prem for 3 fucking months. 3 months. Not even United go that long without winning a home game. We could go 1 month. We won't go 3 months. And that's relegation level, bro. That is relegation fodder, Tottenham. This is one of the worst Tottenham sides I'm seeing in a long time. But yeah, I know. I need to bounce.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry to interrupt.
Man.
Enjoy bantering Spurs. Nice to meet you, Josh.
Nice to meet you again.
See ya.
But yeah, but let's speak about Tottenham, man. Tottenham Hotspur, man. Jeez, come on, bro. Come on, man. You don't go this long without winning a home game, man. 3 months in the Prem. The last game that they won, Villa 4-1.
I know for the Premier League prediction stream that we did, I predicted Leicester to win 2-0. But even that was a bit tongue-in-cheek. I saw they were 1-0 up at half-time, and I was like, it's obviously going to be, 2-3-0 win because Leicester are terrible. I look about 5 minutes later, and they're 2-1 down. And I sent you this thing on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it, It's like bantering Tottenham. It doesn't even like hit anymore because they're just such a poor side. Genuinely, honestly, it's ridiculous. Like I said, like you said, I should say. I think they are waiting to see where Spurs finish in the Europa League table, and I think they are looking to see if Ange can take them to the final. But I'm telling you what, if they do somehow manage to get something out of Anfield, they're not beating Newcastle in the final. I can assure you of that. Newcastle will end their centre-year trophy trout.
If Tottenham win a trophy this year,
fair play to them.
Fair play. But their first trophy in 16 years or 17 years would be the Carabao Cup.
That's a trophy, isn't it? At the end of the day, I mean, I know we banter them for being part of the Big Six, but at the end of the day, like you need a trophy whenever you can. And after 17 years, you'd be salivating for a League Cup.
That are hungry for trophies because we all mock them about not winning anything for years, right? But both of our teams have gone trophyless for a while as well. Not as long as Spurs have, but we've gone at least, both of us have gone 5 years. You've gone 5 years, we've gone 5 years as well before that. Before our Carabao Cup win, the last trophy we won was the Europa League in 2020.
6 years.
That was correct. That was a long time ago. We made the FA Cup final. We made the Europa League final again. We lost those two, and then we hadn't won the trophy ever since. We lost the Super Cup final to Real Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup final against Real Madrid. And then ever since then, we just not been that great. And you know what? I give props where it's due. Like, if Ange does have a shit Premier League season, but he does win a trophy, fair play to him. Yes, he has admitted that he's won a trophy in his second year. But this isn't. But I still think this is poor from Spurs. Like, I reckon they'll wait until like what their fate in the Europa League is this week. If they don't make the automatic
top 8.
If they don't make top 8 and they get knocked out of the Carabao Cup, I reckon he's gone. FA Cup,
without shadow of a doubt.
You can leave the FA Cup to another manager to take over, in my opinion. Because who are Spurs playing in the FA Cup again? I completely forgot.
Aston Villa away.
Aston Villa away, like as crazy as it sounds, it's a winnable game because it's a one-off. It's a one-off game.
Knockout.
Yeah, it's a knockout game. It's a winnable game. United beat Liverpool in the FA Cup last year at Old Trafford. I know it's like, because we weren't great last year. We managed to beat Liverpool. It's a one-off game. Knockouts happen. If only Tamworth fucking scored that long shot. It's not a long shot. That last minute shot at the end. If they had a bit more power, that'd have been crazy. That they would have
been one of the best FA Cup games of all time.
Would have been one of the best wins of all time in FA Cup history. Like, biggest upsets ever, because we lost to, in 2008, I think we lost to we didn't lose to Bradford, did we? We lost to someone. I know we lost at home. We lost to what? I can't remember who we lost to, in the Carabao Cup. So at Carabao Cup, was it? Because we got knocked out by someone in one of the rounds in 2008, 2009, or was it 2007? I can't remember.
You lost to Coventry in the League Cup in 2007, no way.
Yeah, we lost to Coventry 1-0 at Old Trafford. Or was it
2-0?
2-0, yeah. I remember we conceded a penalty and we lost. We lost to Portsmouth that year as well in the FA Cup.
So, that was insane. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we had to sub off 2 goalkeepers.
No, Kushek got a red card, didn't he?
Got a red card. Van der Sar was injured. Sorry, no.
Rio Ferdinand had to go.
Rio Ferdinand had to go and goal. Yep. It was a crazy day, man. It was a crazy day.
Like Carrick, he was right in front of an open goal, but didn't bury it. That game was absolutely insane. That was the definition of like 999 times out of 1,000.
We could have won the quadruple that year, if we had won those 2 games.
That should have been Ferguson's second treble. Definitely should have been. I mean, think about the semi-finals. It was Cardiff,
we should have been
Portsmouth.
We missed a lot of chances. Ronaldo missed the penalty in the final. Let's not forget. We should have beaten Barcelona that year with the chances we had in the game. Rooney missed the chances. Rooney missed a really good chance as well in the game.
You're on about the semi-final?
The Barcelona Champions League final, 2009. We should have won the game because I watched the game back. The chances we had, we could have taken them, man. The chances we had, we should have taken most of the chances.
I know Ronaldo missed the penalty in the first leg of the semi-final.
No, we lost on pens to Everton. That one we should have won because we would have played Portsmouth in the final. Sorry, no. Yes, Portsmouth in the final. Yes, Portsmouth. I remember.
No, you would take Chelsea in the final.
Portsmouth.
08-09.
Portsmouth won the FA Cup in 08, didn't they?
Yeah,
they won the FA Cup in 08. So yeah, they beat what was it?
Cardiff.
Beat Cardiff in the final. So
Aaron Ramsey, 17 years old.
17 years old, Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, Ferguson really wanted him. Did you know that? But he chose Arsene Wenger instead. No, in terms of trophies, he did the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Ramsey. He had a decent career up until the injuries.
He is an Arsenal. I would say he's an Arsenal legend. I mean, 2 FA Cup winning goals.
He scored that FA Cup winning goal against Hull City. I remember watching that game as well. He scored the FA Cup winning goal against Hull City. So yeah, it was a good goal. And yeah, back then it was just good. Football was much better back then, man. Trust me, that was the old classic. That was proper old school football, not what we have right now. The standards are dead.
I don't want to talk about 07-08 because we were 5 points clear at that point. Then Eduardo snapped his leg, and then we had a younger now, and we just mentally jaded. We only lost 3 games that season, but no one remembers that, of course, because you won the Premier League and the Champions League. We led the majority of that season as well. That's
and the
typical.
Community Shield. And the Community Shield.
Christ.
That was the year Van der Sar saved all 3 penalties and we won and we scored all 3 of ours. And Mourinho got sacked early in 2007-2008. But people are saying Fergie struggled against Mourinho. Yes, but he won a Premier League title while Mourinho was still here. So it's 2-1 to Mourinho.
Until Liverpool in 2022, that was the closest an English side had ever got to a quadruple. Chelsea in 07. Did you know that?
Liverpool played every single game in that year. Every single game.
Chelsea nearly did.
Apart from the Community Shield, they didn't play the Community Shield because they didn't win anything the year before. But still, they would have played every single game possible.
If Chelsea beat Liverpool on penalties in the Champions League semi-final, they would have played even more games than Liverpool did in 2022.
Because they won the cup double that year, Liverpool, right?
Chelsea won the cup double as well.
We failed to do so the following year after we lost to Man City in the final. We beat Newcastle and we lost to Man City. It's what it is. We move. I just think, yeah. I love how we talked about Tottenham and we managed to escalate this talk to trophies because we need to educate Spurs fans on how winning what winning feels like.
I can't ban to Spurs either. We're on a 5-year trophy drought. I'm counting under Don Mikel. So.
Bro, they're gonna be on a 19-year trophy drought. You'll be fine, man. You'll probably win a trophy before they won't win.
Bloody hope so.
They ain't winning the Carabao Cup this year. Liverpool will get to the final. I hope Spurs beat Liverpool though. I don't want Liverpool to get to the final. I want Liverpool to win anything. Don't want Liverpool to win anything, bro, this year. They're
winning the league, pal, because you've got Arsenal as their closest competitors. Have fun, mate. Yeah. You're lucky you're in Thailand. I've got to live near them.
Hey. I have Liverpool fans all around me, bro.
Okay, fair enough.
I have Liverpool fans all around me. Like, my neighbors opposite me, all Liverpool fans. People live next to me.
Yeah, but at least they're not...
Oh, shit, what happened there? I think we should...
God knows.
What were you saying? I said Liverpool.
But at least they're not Scousers, the Liverpool fans you live near.
But bro, they make fun of United. The first person they see when they talk about United is they'll walk up to me and be like, "What happened to United?" I'm like, I'm the first person I get, I'm the first person that gets provoked from these guys, And then like, how do you say it? At least I don't have Liverpool fans in my building. Liverpool fans in my building are not permitted. No one is allowed to support Liverpool in my family. I told them you can't support. You can support whoever, but not Liverpool. That's it. No one but Liverpool. You can support.
I admire it.
And because in my family, we've never had a Liverpool fan in my family. We've never had a Liverpool fan. We've had someone who came from a Liverpool family, but no one who supports Liverpool. So it's what it is. Liverpool, listen, at the end of the day, good luck to them. I hope it does wake up a few United fans so that United start demanding more. Because, I saw a clip yesterday about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe after the game, right after the Fulham game, there were a few United fans who got to me like 66 quid. They're like 66, and I'm like, bro, you're worse than the Glazers. And I'm like, bro, that is true. they're just about as worse as the Glazers, bro. They're just about as bad as the Glazers, in my opinion. And I'm like, surely not. Like, surely you can't be this incompetent, Jim, man. Like, come on, man. You can't be this incompetent, man. Are you, like, you're trying to cut costs for what reason? We might as well move on to United anyways, because United won the game yesterday. I'm happy with the 3 points. I'll take the result any day of the week, because at the end of the day, we started with the attack of Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho up top. That was a very lackluster attack. That was an attack that, for me, I was like, do you know what? It's not good enough. It's not been good enough. It'll never be good enough. Garnacho, Højlund cannot play together.
Højlund can't play at all. I think out of the 46 Premier League games he's played in, he's failed to score in 38 of those games. Something ridiculous like that.
You're right. And we signed him for 75 million. 75 million, this guy we spent on. We could have signed Osimhen for 75 million. He would have bagged way more than Højlund. You don't need to be proven or young to be, because you know what it is with fans nowadays. We have to go down the young route. I'm like, we need to sign someone younger and has a brighter future. Why don't you just sign someone now that's good enough already and can help your team elevate to the next level? Why do you have to bank on young players trying to fulfill their potential, their full potential, and be like, but this guy's gonna be good in a few years. We have to give him time. We just stop being so harsh on the kid. Just go and sign someone that's good enough now that can help you elevate yourself to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Why do you have to bank on young players to be good when you could just go and sign a player like Osimhen, who's already good? You can go and sign a player like Gyökeres, who's already very good. You go and sign a player like Frankie de Jong, who's already very good. Instead, we're signing young players. I don't mind signing young players after we've signed them, after we sign good players that are already proven, so you can help the young players grow into good players. I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of this gimmick, brother. We have to go down the young youth project and shit like that. I'm not all for it, man.
I've been through that, don't I?
We need to look elsewhere, man. We need to look elsewhere and make some reinforcements in the summer, because I don't think January we're going to do anything. We're just going to sign Patrick Dorgu, and that's it. That's literally about it. Or we could go for Alvaro Fernandez, who was about 16 million. We could buy him back. We sold him to Benfica along with option to buy for 6 million. We sold him for 6 million with a loan option to buy, and we didn't have a single left-footed left back at the time. We let Reguilon go back to Spurs. Shaw and Malacia were out. Amrabat had to play left back. Wan-Bissaka had to play left back. We didn't have a good left back. Brandon Williams got sold. He was right-footed, so we don't even have a single left-footed left back right now that's available. Malacia doesn't play, so we need a left-footed left back. And Dorgu is a good player. I think we signed Dorgu, and that's about it. That's literally about it, man. United yesterday, good, decent result. I'll take the result. Happy with 3 points.
What did you think of the performance? Because I told you off camera, I fell asleep genuinely a few times.
I don't think we were amazing. Our build-up play was okay. There were times where United looked a bit dangerous, but at the same time there was nothing in front of goal. Lisandro Martinez scores a very nice deflected goal, and we score 1-0. We hold on, we won the game. That's our 8th win in a row at Craven Cottage now. 8th win in a row at Craven Cottage, so I'll take the 3 points any day of the week. The Amad Diallo goal should have counted. I won't speak too much on that, as I've already spoken about it. Too much VAR controversy over the weekend. I just don't like it, but it's what it is. We win the game. We take the 3 points and we move on. That's our second win in 4 Premier League games this year in 2025 to start. 2 wins in 4 games. I'll take it. Even though we handed Brighton the game last week with two errors. And Liverpool got a draw. 7 points out of a possible, 12? 7 points out of 12? 2 wins and a draw? That's not amazing. That's not great considering where we are right now in the position. The position we are on the table, that's not good enough. But at the same time, we're not that great of a team. So, I don't know. The players we have, the attack we have, lackluster in front of goal. No final third play. Nothing at all. Lisandro Martinez scores a deflected goal. We smashed and grabbed that 1-0. And I'll be like, do you know what? Fulham in front of goal are just so poor. They're just so poor in front of goal, Fulham. They skied so many of the chances. Onana didn't really have to make many saves. It wasn't a comfortable. It wasn't a comfortable win, but Fulham just didn't have much. But Fulham's chances.
A cutting edge.
They weren't as dangerous. They weren't as threatening apart from the chance where Collier had to hit the ball off the line from a corner, surprise, another corner kick, and he made that really insane clearance, and we won the game. That was the game saving header right there. And to pick up Toby Collier, he came on and solidified the midfield. He solidified the game. We won the game 1-0. I'll happily take the 3 points. But we gotta be better in games. We gotta be better. Our attack is not good enough. Ahmad and Xerxes seems to link up okay. So I play Ahmad and Xerxes next to each other. And on the left, look, I'm not a massive fan of Marcus Rashford. I'm not a massive fan of who he is as a player, of what he's become, his personality. But surely he can't do worse than Rasmus Højlund. Surely he can't do worse than Højlund. I'm sorry. Surely not.
I don't understand why you're shipping off 2 of your left wingers. And one of those left wingers that you're trying to sell to your Premier League rivals is starting Premier League games week in, week out.
I don't know, man. I'd sell him to Napoli. Go get Osimhen. Go swap deal with Osimhen. Give us Osimhen.
I wouldn't mind Osimhen.
Literally give us Osimhen. Because you know why? Because if Napoli don't want him anymore, go to Napoli and tell him offer us 35 plus Osimhen. Why are United looking at 50-60 million for Garnacho? You're not going to get 60 million for Garnacho. So someone will be stupid to pay 60 for Garnacho.
Chelsea. That's why they're linked to.
It's 60 million. It's 60 million euros, by the way.
So that's about 52 million pounds.
Around.
Chelsea will be more than willing to pay that.
I just go and tell Napoli, offer us 35 plus Osimhen. How much would the deal be in total? Like about if you combine Osimhen's value plus cash, that's like the deal's almost 100 million.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much a total of 100 million in you're not offering us 100, but the total package will be 100 million because Rooney went to Everton for 15 million, right? The total package was 90 million from Everton, from United to Everton. That Rooney to Everton was 15 million, plus Lukaku 75 million. That was 90 million. The total package was 90 million. So if you could offer us 35 for Garnacho and give us Osimhen, the deal's almost 100 million. You're not offering us 100 million. You're just swapping a player to us, you know? I'd take Osimhen right now. Osimhen would be perfect for us. He's only on loan at Galatasaray. He's not gonna, he's not gonna leave. Galatasaray doesn't have control over the player. He's allowed to make the decision to leave Napoli if he wants to leave Napoli. If he doesn't want to leave Napoli, fair enough. Because Napoli treating him like crap from me. I think it's terrible treatment from Napoli. He won you the league. Come on, man. Like, treat him properly, man. But yeah, what are your thoughts on United? Because I know you said you fell asleep. But I think the performance is all right. 3 points. We move away to SCSB and Crystal Palace. I'm expecting 2 wins, and then we have Leicester next in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Excuse me. So I'm expecting 3 more. I'm expecting 3 more wins in a row from us right now. 3 wins in a row needed from United. What are you saying?
Well, I did tell you that I did fall asleep more than once. I mean, people watching the stream will probably think I'm exaggerating or trying to make you laugh, whatever. But I genuinely did. It was such a boring game of football. It was borderline driving me to insanity. But at the end of the day, cold harsh reality is it's a results based business. And Man United's got the result they needed up to the mighty 12th. And no, banter aside, I mean, you needed that, especially after the Brighton debacle as well. You struggle to beat Rangers, so that will be a moral boosting victory for you ahead of a crucial week coming up.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We handed Brighton that game. We handed them 2 goals. We should have.
You've said this about 15 times. It's brilliant. Okay.
I'm gonna keep on reiterating it. United are a walking error. United are a walking error prone. That's what we are. We are literally a walking error prone. We are, bro. It's always individual mistakes costing us week in, week out. It's always individual errors in our team, man. We're not a great side. We're just not a great side, man. We only do well against the big sides because we don't do well with the ball. We do well when we're trying to win the ball back. We do well off the ball rather than on the ball. That's our biggest trait, and still we can't string a run of results together.
So all
Alice home next. FCSB, Leicester. 3 wins expected, man. Got to get 3 wins in a row. Can't be.
You know, a lot of these criticisms that you make towards United are directly applicable to Arsenal as well. Genuinely, I did tell you a few streams ago. These two clubs are a lot more similar than their fans will like to make out for ego reasons, or pretty much. Like genuinely, we face the same sort of problems. Honestly, I don't know how we're still seconds because we have been poor all season as well.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think 12th place, that doesn't reflect how poor you've really been this season. When you take into fact that it is Manchester United at the end of the day. I think 12th place is almost kind when I've seen you play, because you are a terrible outfit.
We are.
And I know you've knocked us out of the FA Cup, and I've said my piece on that. Go back and watch it if you haven't, to anyone watching. But I still can't believe you screwed that up. And yeah, you are a really bad team. Like I've just got to get that out there.
No, we are. No, you're not wrong at all, bro. We're.
But so are we. So the fact that we're second.
But like I've said many times in the past. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say this. But like I said many times in the past, man. Giving Erik ten Hag that extension was the detriment to us. Was the reason why we're is the reason why we're in this position right now. If we had sacked him, got Ruben Amorim in the summer, or even Thomas Tuchel, or someone that can just take us to the next level again, then I'd be like, okay. If we're in around like 5th, 4th, then I'd be like, that's fine. That's all right. That's not going to upset me because, you know, these players are not great. We don't have a great group of players. But if the managers, if you want to back the manager now, back him in these final few days of January, get some signings in. You know, we need to go on a run of games in the Premier League. I don't want to finish bottom half. I do not want to finish in the bottom half. But as long as we win the Europa League or the FA Cup, try and get one of those trophies, I'd be like, you know what? It's a bit of success, but it's still not good enough. And Ruben needs to be ruthless next season if he wants to succeed here. If he doesn't ship players like Rashford out, Garnacho out, if he doesn't ship players like, you know, Mason Mount out, Luke Shaw, you know, you still keep them around the club, then your issues are still lying there. Your issues are still there. You can talk about Rashford all you like. I'm happy with whatever he's doing with Rashford, yeah. The things he said about Rashford, I'm very happy with what he's doing. Very happy with it. Rashford deserves this treatment. He's not showing professionalism at all. He's not showing any professionalism at all during games. He ducks out of 50-50 challenges. He strolls around the park. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't care. At the end of the day, do you know what? It's all about, you know, it's all about being ruthless and getting the players you need out. Simple. And bringing players you want in. You don't need to hold on to these players anymore. If you're being ruthless with Rashford, be ruthless with everyone else as well. I appreciate the ruthlessness with Rashford. I love it. I want more ruthlessness with everyone else as well. But sorry, Josh, I wanted to say that. Go and continue, bro. Continue what you're saying, bro.
Oh well, I can't remember what I was saying. I don't think I was saying anything new, but I feel like we might actually sign Rashford from you in the actually. If we didn't have 2 Premier League loans in already, I reckon we would have sewn up Rashford a lot earlier.
Don't think so. I don't think you sign Rashford. I think you sign.
I don't know if we sign anyone. That just shows how poor our ownership is. It's ridiculous.
You need to sign Sesko. You need to sign Sesko. That's what you need. That's what you need right now, Sesko.
We need to sign a lot of players, Ackerman.
Because let's not forget, Sesko is getting knocked out of the Champions League. Sesko is getting knocked out. So if you sign Sesko right now, you have a better chance of getting some goals, you know, scoring some goals on a weekly basis.
It's what infuriates me because we don't do that enough. We don't assert our power enough, if you know what I mean, in transfer negotiations. We should be going up to Leipzig's door saying, you know, Benjamin, this is Arsenal Football Club, yeah? We're on the hunt for our first league title. We need attacking firepower. Like, we can offer you Champions League football beyond the league phase. Why can't we just show a bit of ambition and try and get over the line? Because at the end of the day, you're leaving the squad short. I don't want to watch Marino play every week. Christ above, it does my head in. Like I said, I have no idea how we're second. I give all this criticism to Arteta and the fact that he spent loads, but considering the players he's got, he's probably working a miracle right now. When you've got Marino in midfield, when you've got Calafiori who cannot defend, I love the fact that he's popped up with 2 crucial goals for us, but he can't defend. Genuinely. Raya's looked suspect for a good month or so now, and no one likes to call it out. Rice has been fantastic, but I mean Trossard. I mean he's turned up. He's turned up this month, but before that, he's cost us critical points throughout this campaign. Martinelli's no longer good enough, and Havertz is fucking Havertz. I mean, honestly, I give Arteta a bit of credit in the fact that we're still somehow in the hunt. Although obviously we're not going to win it, but the fact that we're even still in the conversation, despite the fact that he's filled our squad up with dross, I think he almost deserves a bit of credit for that. So fair play to him.
Who Trossard, yeah?
No, Arteta. With the amount of absolute idiots we have in the squad, the fact that he's actually got us to second so far. I know that sounds like it contradicts all that I've said about Arteta previously, but at the end of the day, this squad of players are not that good, genuinely. Like considering the bare bones we're in now, it's not that good whatsoever. So the fact that we're still only 6 points behind Liverpool, I mean, that's a really good position to be in, all things considered.
How's Odegaard still your captain, man? It should be Gabriel. It should be Gabriel, bro.
Gabriel or Rice. Odegaard's been.
Yeah, them two for sure. Gabriel.
I didn't even mention Odegaard. He's been absolute pants this season as well.
He's been awful. Or even Saliba should be your captain. Who knows? One of them 3.
I mean, Saliba's leaving and sometime soon because we're not winning anything.
I don't think he's leaving. I think Saliba will stay at Arsenal.
Well, that shows his lack of ambition, then, doesn't it? Really.
It's about what you do. It's about what you win, because Real Madrid don't just sign players from clubs that don't win much. They sign players from. They signed Mbappe from PSG, and PSG were winning the league, constantly winning the year every year. And Mbappe won the World Cup with PSG while he was at PSG. I know it sounds like a wild comment to say because they signed They signed Gareth Bale from Spurs, he only won the League Cup. They signed Modric from Spurs. Modric won the Croatian League, and then he went to Spurs. That's about it. So they don't sign many players who don't win trophies. Obviously, they signed Tchouaméni. They signed Tchouaméni from Lille. Sorry, was it Lille or was it? I can't remember where they signed Tchouaméni from. I completely forgot.
Monaco, was it?
It was Monaco, wasn't it? They signed.
Don't count me on that.
Somebody in the chat, correct me, please. Where they signed Tchouaméni from? I can't remember where they signed Tchouaméni from. But regardless, yeah, Monaco. Thank you, Monaco.
It was Monaco, yeah.
And then they signed Camavinga from Rennes, Lille.
One of those two. Yeah.
Lille, yeah, I think it was Lille. Yeah, it was Lille. They signed Camavinga from. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about strengthening. I don't think Real Madrid are gonna sign Saliba. Where's Saliba gonna go if Real Madrid don't come knocking? Liverpool not gonna sign him. It was Rennes.
Yeah,
right?
good point.
It was Rennes. Yeah, I don't know who else is gonna sign Saliba. Are Barcelona gonna sign Saliba? Maybe no.
Well, they can't, can
they? They can, but they're not gonna be able to afford his wages. That's the problem. The wages are the biggest issue. I don't see them signing. It's only really Real Madrid that I see him going to. PSG, nah. Don't see him going to PSG at this time. I think PSG is a step down from where Arsenal. For me, it's a step down from Arsenal. As much as PSG winning the league every year, going from Premier League to Liga, yeah, that's a step down. Going to Real Madrid, sure, that's a massive step up. Massive step up. I think he goes to Madrid. That's the only place to see him going if he leaves Arsenal. I don't see him going anywhere else, but I think Saliba stays. But yeah, back to United. Anyways, back to United. I was just saying, it's about sorting out our transfer window, sorting out backing Ruben Amorim in the summer, because I don't see us backing him right now. We ain't gonna back him right now, are we? The players we've got right now are one of the worst group of players I've ever seen in my life. And the United fans have called out Sir Jim after the game. Big up to you guys. Whoever you guys are, the ones that went to Sir Jim's car and told him that he's just like the Glazers. He's done. He's doing all this. He's cost cutting, but he's asking for more from the fans. The fans will probably still pay it because they're vulnerable. But at the end of the day, right? If you look at it from this standpoint, they're not happy with the ticket prices being raised. It at the same time is it kind of a smart is it a smart strategy though to get the Glazers out, because if the fans are not going to offer it, yeah. If the fans don't offer 66 quid to pay for tickets, they don't pay 66 quid for tickets, yeah. But they have to pay more the following season, more and more and more. Keep upping the ticket prices. Does that mean less fans will start going, and more Glazers out protests will happen, or do you think it's more they're just the love of the club just keeps them going?
I think it opens up for more tourists, doesn't it? And obviously, tourists have more money than the local fan. So the fans are just the fans that aren't going to turn up are going to get replaced by those who will want to see.
For tourist groups though, sorry to interrupt. Tickets are cheaper for tourist groups though, because I think you pay it via group, and the tour guide and the tour groups will sort it out for you, rather than or the tour companies will sort it out for you rather than you sort it out yourself, because obviously you pay for the tour and everything like that, accommodation and stuff like that, but then they help you with the hospitality. So that's the one thing that kind of benefits tourists, because they'll have to pay with the tour guide and everything. Sorry, excuse me, not tour guide, tour hospitality groups. But at the same time, regular match going fans, they're not going to want to pay it, and that's one thing I want United fans to do. Sure, if the Glazers were if these were like, if this was Qatari owners, right, and they were upping the ticket prices to 66 quid, I'd be like, yeah, that is a blunder. That is terrible to do that. But because it's the Glazers, I'm not infuriated about it. At the same time, the fans that don't like Sajim, big up to you anyways for calling him out, because I think he's a shit owner. I think
he is.
The fans were all. We remember when Qatar was trying to buy United. The fans were like, "Nah, we need Sajim. We need a Manchester lad. We need someone who's from Manchester, someone who's gonna run the club because he loves Manchester United." Mind you, this guy has a season ticket at Chelsea. Yes, he's a United fan, but he has a season ticket at Chelsea. So what more is so what's it gonna do for us? Yes, he's brought in footballing people, Omar Barada, stuff like that, Jason Wilcox, and all of these guys. But at the same time, right? Looking at it, right? We're not run properly still. We're still run by the Glazers, bro. Everything still has to go through the Glazers. Yeah, even Nice fans hate him, bro. Look at the size of Nice, a football club. Look at the size of that club compared to United. If their fans don't like him, why are they going to go to a big club all of a sudden and do so well? If you can't do well in a small club, right, with the money, bro, he's one of the richest owners in UK. He's actually the richest man in the UK, I think, apparently.
The richest Englishman, I think.
He's the richest Englishman. Exactly. So it just tells you everything you need to know. This guy is stingy. He doesn't want to spend his money. It's cost cutting for absolutely no reason, And it's getting tiring at this point, man. But go on, the floor is yours, bro. Sorry.
Oh no, there's nothing else to say really. Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I cannot fathom why some people would rather Sir Jim Ratcliffe than Qatari owners. I mean, the mentality alone, the mentality switch alone between the two. I mean, it's food and drink, really, isn't it? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, at the end of the day, track records never lie. In football, definitely not. And you see what he does at Nice. You see what he did at Nice. What he does at Nice, for example. It seems so obvious. It seems so obvious to say, but it was obvious that this was going to happen.
It was.
You just look. You look at what he's done previously. That's his previous work. That's what he's going to do. That's a sign of things to come.
His track record says everything about him, man.
Exactly.
So why is he still not doing what's required? When he's joined the club, he's talked about bringing Manchester United back to the top, doing what's required. Yes, but you don't cost cut. You don't go doing you don't go do cost cutting. You don't go do and all this cost cutting is funded more players and their wages. You're cutting more costs to fund Bruno Fernandes's new contract. You're cost cutting to fund Marcus Rashford. We let go of Ronaldo, mind you. We let go of Ronaldo, yeah, and we replaced it with Wout Weghorst, a cheaper option. You got to replace Ronaldo with a striker who's going to bag as many goals as he has in his life in a year. The guy back 50. Yes, it's a Saudi league. Who cares about the Saudi league? Guy back 50 plus goals in a year, in a whole calendar year. We can't replace a striker who scored as many goals. It's crazy. Osimhen's available, man. Osimhen's good enough to score as many goals. You know, the club's recruitment has been terrible over the last. It's been terrible, man. And this exactly bites us in the arse because Garnacho Hoyland up top. It's just like terrible. There's no goals. It's not many goals. When that attack started, I knew there was not going to be nothing in that attack. I needed to see Xerxes up top. I needed to see Ahmad play next to him. You know, Copy in the final third. He set up Ahmad's second goal. By the way, he set up Ahmad's second goal. Yes, it was offside, but he set it up. So, at the day, it's recruitment. Our recruitment is terrible, bro. It is terrible recruitment. Go on, bro. Trying to get that across.
Well, on your terrible recruitment, I mean, it goes back always to Solskjaer, I think. With well, even Mourinho to an extent. When you think of the likes of Lindelof, who was never good enough.
Yeah.
Fred wasn't good enough.
Yeah, the Europa League, we weren't good enough. It was the year after we won the Europa League. We signed Lindelof. We brought Zlatan back, and we sold him like a couple months later, right?
Who else?
Lukaku.
Obviously, you signed Lukaku as well, who was very hit and miss.
And we signed. What's another player? I forgot his name. Lindelof, Zlatan, Lukaku. There's another player I'm forgetting. There's another player I'm forgetting. There's another player. Oh, Matic. And we signed paid him 500K, by the way, mind you.
I'll tell you one of the worst summer windows. Yeah, Mkhitaryan. One of the worst summer windows I've ever seen was your 2019 summer. I mean, Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire for what, 130 million pounds?
Nah, the year before was even worse. Fred, Lee Grant, and Tom. Was it Tom Heaton? No, not Tom Heaton. Excuse me, not Tom Heaton. And who else did we sign? I remember we signed another one that year. We signed 3 players that year. We signed Fred 50, Lee Grant on a free.
Yeah, the goalkeeper.
Diogo Dalot. That was the worst transfer window I've ever seen in my years of supporting United. Yes, Dalot and Fred weren't bad players. But come on, man.
Hold on, you got the summer of 2009 as well.
Valencia wasn't a bad signing if you deep it. It wasn't a bad signing, but we should have signed...
When you think of who you sold that summer and who you replaced them with.
We should have signed Di Maria. Was it Di Maria? No, was it Di Maria? Sorry, it wasn't Di Maria. We should have signed Benzema, Ribery that year.
Yeah.
We should have signed them too, because Tevez even left, and we signed Valencia. Valencia was a great player. I'm not saying Valencia was a bad signing. Valencia was a great signing. He played right wing, right back. Great player. Rated Valencia highly. But I'm sorry, like the recruitment that year, yeah, summed up the Glazers in a nutshell. Like summed them up in just the whole like transfer window, because we should have signed players that you know, if we had proper owners, yeah, if we had the owners that owned us before the Glazers joined United, yeah, we'd have made better recruitment than this, way better recruitment, bro. We could be at the top right now still with our ownership. Sending us to Qatar, sending us to someone that, you know, can take over the club in years' time, and financially they're not doing well, you know, would have been the elevation to this football club. Stadium wouldn't be rotting. Old Trafford would have been rebuilt, no problem. Old Trafford would be, you know, modernized. You'd have had facilities would have been better. Training ground would have been rotten. You know, wouldn't have rats on the pitch. Toilet wouldn't be leaking. Roof wouldn't be leaking. Screen would have been added. Wi-Fi wouldn't have been dead, and all that jazz. And I'm like, this club has just been neglected so much over the years. It's just like, it's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. I'm sorry, unacceptable behavior from the Glazers and the rest of the fan base, because there's no standards anymore. They're all still, because, you know, one signing and they're all queuing outside the mega store. Ronaldo, cool. There was no choice for me. I had to go put his name at the back of my shirt. I had no choice because he's my favorite player. But Casemiro though was another one because there were glazed out protests for Liverpool for the Liverpool game. Yeah, when Ten Hag first came in. Before the Liverpool game, when Ten Hag came in, yeah. Before the Liverpool game, Ten Hag's first year, we won that game 2-1. Casemiro joined. Fans were like queuing outside the mega store buying shirts and going to the protest. That is not protest, mate. That is not protest. That is just showing your inability to support to have standards and support the club in the way that you should be supporting it. Because go see the fans in the French league. Go see the ultras in the French league. Go see the ultras in Spain. They'll be on your case if you don't do your job properly. Barcelona have had president after president after president sacked because their president have let them down over the years off the pitch. So much fraud. Laporta, there was. If you could, I know my friends in the chat. He's a Barca fan. Can you remind me of the other guy that went to jail? Or was it that?
Was this back in like 2015?
It was like no, because I remember there was a Barcelona president that went to jail because of corruption. I forgot his name. I know you're listening in the chat. Can you remind me his name, because I know you support Barca, so obviously you can.
I know who you mean. I can't remember his name.
My friends in the chat, he's a Barca fan. So I think he'll know who it is. I'm trying to butcher his name. It's not Laporta. It's not Laporta, is it? It's not Laporta. It's another one. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. Bartomeu. Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Bartomeu. Yes. I just butchered it in my head. Bartomeu. That guy went to jail because of corruption. You see, when fans don't see the light, they'll go to the club and be like, they'll make their voices heard. A lot of English fans wanted to be like, oh, we're gonna get arrested for doing this. No, you won't. Just make it
probably
peaceful.
Will.
Just make it peaceful, man. Just make it peaceful. You don't need to be violent. No one's violent. We're just spreading the message. It's a free message, At the same time though, I don't know, man. It's just the club's rotten to the core, and I'm just worried what's gonna happen to us in the future, man. I'm really worried for our future, man. Because Ruben Amorim is such a good manager, and if he's not being backed, he should just go manage someone with ideas, potential to manage. At the end of the day, I just think he's a talented manager. He definitely has to take his what do you call it? He has to go somewhere else that he can succeed. Go to like a Bayern Munich when company leaves or something like that, then he'll succeed there. Go to maybe a Dortmund, maybe go to like a Sevilla. He'll definitely win trophies there. He'll definitely win trophies at other clubs. United, he's not going to get backed with his corrupt ownership. He's not going to get backed. We're going to keep on saving money, and they'll act like we're poor, act like PSR is the problem, and all that shit. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But any more thoughts on United or something like that?
I think you've summed it up beautifully there. There's nothing much else to say regarding Manchester United. I think the problems are there for everyone to see. There's no good to me listing it out all again. We all know the problems surrounding that buried club. I'm sorry, don't want to insult you, but you genuinely are.
Go ahead, man. I've spoken about this many times on the streams. I've reiterated many times about United. I've reiterated many times about the lack of, the lack of standards, the lack of, the ability to not run a club in the way that I want it to be run, the inability to pump money to the football club when you needed to, right? These greedy American owners are the reason why English football is so dead. So dead. Apart from to be fair with you, Todd Bowley has pumped money to Chelsea, and he has actually kind of backed Chelsea in a way. I don't mind Todd Bowley as an owner. It's just the people working around Todd Bowley that's corrupted. I think Todd Bowley's is actually not a bad owner. He's not scared to throw money, and I like an owner who's willing to
wrong players, but he doesn't. Yeah,
wrong players, but at least showing that he's not scared to show the money where he will put money on the table. You know what I'm saying? He's not scared to put.
There's ambition.
Yeah, 100%. And Chelsea are giving players 9-year contracts and stuff like that. It's good. I rate it. The biggest thing though is the biggest thing that I have with owners is obviously we had issues with Kroenke, we had issues with they have issues with FSG, they have issues with the Glazers. What was it? Daniel Levy? Is he run? Is his people that are working around him American people? Are they Americans that run Spurs?
Enoch. I think they're British owned.
Not Daniel Levy, but Daniel Levy is British. But the other people running in Tottenham, are they
Enoch
American? Enoch are American, isn't it?
I'm not too sure. Either American or British, either one of the two. I think Tottenham might be a British-owned club, which explains why they win fuck all.
Fair enough. I mean, but there are definitely more American owners in the Premier League, though. And I'll tell you right now, Ryan Reynolds, who runs Wrexham, yeah, that is a proper football owner right there. He's not watched a public football in his life before running Wrexham. At least he did. He educated himself about football. He educated himself about the game. Now they're running Wrexham. Like there's some, bro. Have you seen the Wrexham documentary? Like a bit of the Wrexham documentary. Have you seen like what Ryan Reynolds does behind the scenes? He's actually watching the games, actually making decisions. Saying that managers should get sacked. Where are Wrexham now? Are they League One? Have they gone all the way up?
We're about to get promoted to the Championship, I think.
Bro, that's a proper owner right there. I want Ryan Reynolds at my club, bro. Ryan Reynolds is a proper owner. Proper owner. He's a proper American guy. American Canadian guy, but sorry, I don't mean
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, Canadian American, but it's what it is. Like, trust me, I want owners like that at my club. King Power, Leicester owners, proper owners as well. Yes, they don't have the finances to back it all up. But what they've done with Leicester to take them to the Premier League title is crazy. I know call it a fluke all you like. It's still an amazing achievement.
You should look at Forest's owner as well. Proper owner as well.
Yep. And I think someone's getting new owners as well. Everton got new owners. Apparently West Ham got new owners. Apparently, Southampton are getting new owners. I don't know. I remember. I think Inter.
Well, they're down in the Championship next year, so.
I think Inter got new owners as well, haven't they? I think Inter Milan got new owners as well. So, ownership changes are a thing, man. I'm seeing AC Milan fans outside, at what do you call San Siro. They are protesting against the owners. The following 2 years, 2 years later, they're champions of Italy. And AC Milan are also a club that has a bunch of tourists. Mind you, Kobe Bryant was an AC Milan fan. I think. Mind you, I think Kobe Bryant was an AC Milan fan. And apparently all tourists, all tourists are go to San Siro when they want to go watch football in Italy. San Siro is the place to go. Even though it's rotten, they still go San Siro. Like, this myth of the football club's a tourist club does not have any effect on how you should go watch football, on how you should support and demand from your football club. At the end of the day, we all want what's best for my football club. We all want what's best for our clubs, And if we don't, if we're just sitting here talking like pretending we're toxic and negative, then we wouldn't be sitting here. If we were toxic and negative, we wouldn't be sitting here. I'm not being toxic and negative. I'm just being truthful with my club. I'm just being brutally honest. And I completely understand where you're coming from as well, because if you say it, I'm not going to be upset. I understand your ownership as well. I understand the issues with your ownership as well. It's like, it's the same thing, bro. Same issues, Same issues. We come from like the same pretty much similar issues, and I hear it. Even FSG at Liverpool, not as competent as you think. And John Henry's not the right sports. He's not a great sports owner. I support the Boston Red Sox, and I see a lot of Red Sox fans like say that he's a massive issue. So it's like Fenway Park and everything like that. So yeah, but sorry, bro.
No, but even the Kroenkes are much better owners than FSG and the Glazers. I mean, even if you look at football in isolation, they have given Arteta £700 million, which he hasn't delivered on. And I can't remember. I think Stan Kroenke, he owns the LA Rams, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they've won quite a few trophies over the last few years. He's invested heavily in American sports for the teams that he owns. So evidently, his heart is in the right place when he decides to give a shit. Evidently with Arsenal, it's not when it matters most, but that's emblematic of our club, really. At the end of the day, he has given Arteta a lot of funds to work with, which he hasn't delivered upon. So I think comparing the Kroenkes to the Glazers and FSG is a bit disingenuous. I think neither of these owners are ideal, but Arsenal have got the best American owners out of the three, which isn't saying too much, but it shows how poor the Glazers and FSG are.
It just tells you everything you need to know that we're in a mess. And Kroenkes are just one more team away. Or do they have a hockey team as well? Ice hockey team. I can't remember.
I think they do.
They have the LA Rams won the Super Bowl in 2022. Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship in 2023. Arsenal bottled the league in 2023.
Twice. Yeah.
Sorry, 2023. They bottled the league. So all that's left for them is just for Arsenal, I think. That's a win. Arsenal
are literally the only sports team that they own that isn't successful in terms of major honours.
Next year, I expect Arsenal to get back to title competing again. They need to get back to at least very, very, very close to the title. At least within a point off or level on goal difference.
One thing I will say, I think the Glazers and FSG got very lucky with Sir Alex Ferguson and Jurgen Klopp respectively, because that covered the whole cracks up. Comparatively, Arteta, he's obviously got something about him in terms of being a manager, but he's nowhere near those two in terms of like success and whatnot. So obviously the Kroenkes have more of a limelight, but obviously when the Glazers came in 2005, Sir Alex was still winning everything in sight.
Sir Alex and David Gill were representatives of Manchester United. They literally ran Manchester United. Both Sir Alex and David Gill. Them two were the run United. No one else. And we let David Gill go for Ed Woodward in 2012. Or something like that. And that's we're in a football club, man. David Gill left. Yeah. David Boyes didn't want him, but sorry, continue what you're saying.
Yeah, but you see with FSG, like they did not invest. Like once Liverpool were on top, they refused to invest much further. What Sir Alex Ferguson famously said: "You've always got to spend money to stay at the top, to stay fresh." And unfortunately for Liverpool fans, FSG didn't spend enough to stay fresh and stay above City at the top.
They've only spent 13 million this summer.
Exactly.
But Mamadashvili is on loan at Valencia right now. He went back. So I reckon they're selling Alisson next season because he's too good to be a backup goalkeeper, in my opinion. I reckon Alisson's gone next year. Mamadashvili is not going to be a backup goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. I think he's very underrated. But sorry, continue.
But like I said, FSG have got very lucky with the previous two managers they've hired.
Yeah.
For Glazers, not so much. And with
Mourinho was a good manager as well.
Mourinho, that's Jose Mourinho, isn't it? But I mean, even they sacked him in the end. I mean, in hindsight, would you have sacked him? I mean, Ole finished third and second, but at the end of the day, was that anything?
Thinking about it now, would I have sacked Jose again? Would I go back and think sacking Mourinho was the right decision? It was the wrong decision now thinking about it. Like, yes, I know I wanted him out at the time, but if you deep it now, the standards since Mourinho left have dropped so much. Because Ole came in, standards have dropped because he was all about second and third, never about winning trophies. I liked Ole. Yeah. He was a decent manager, but I never liked the lack of success.
Thing is, when you're replacing a football manager, you need to replace them. Like, if you've got a winner and Jose Mourinho and you've sacked him, you need to hire someone of a similar level, or at least someone who hasn't maybe won as many trophies but can win as many trophies as Jose. But instead, you went straight for them.
Conte.
I mean, that's where the standards drop.
100%. 100% agree with you, bro. 100% agree with you, man. Because if you're gonna replace a manager, you replace him with similar qualities. The thing with Sir Alex Ferguson is he's the GOAT for me. He for me is the greatest manager of all time, right? I don't know.
I will debate that with you if you want.
I don't know about you, but for me, I think he's the greatest. I think he's the greatest manager of all time, and it's hard to replace Sir Alex Ferguson. I'll be honest, very hard to replace Sir Alex Ferguson. So, but at the same time, I'd have gone for Jose at the time, man. Jose.
Or Pep. before he went Bayern.
Pep before he went to Bayern. I agree with you, man. They should have agreed.
Even Klopp, you could have prized him out of Dortmund.
No, because Klopp just joined Dortmund and he just made a champion. I don't think he would have left Dortmund yet at the time. I don't think he was ready.
Fair enough.
I think it was still. I think it was still early days, but I think it was LVG. I was trust me, LVG was I was very happy with LVG when we got him.
Winner, and he won you a trophy. Right?
Yep, I was very happy with him. I wasn't very happy with how the year in 2015-16 went, but I was very happy with how he he signed players, like how many players we were able to sign under LVG. We signed at least 5-6 players in 2 transfer windows, like 2 transfer windows each. We signed at least 6 players. We signed the first year. We signed at least 5 players. This following year we signed almost seven players. Just tells you everything you need to know that we can actually make some signings under that guy. Actually make some signings, and they weren't amazing signings. They weren't signings that elevated us, but at least he showed a level of ambition that I need some new players in the squad. Replace the old ones out and bring in some new ones. Even if they're not good enough, you bring in some academy players as well. Borthwick Jackson at the time, he brought in McNair. He brought in, what's it called? He brought in
Michael Keane.
Fosu Mensah. Michael Keane went. I think Michael Keane had just left. He had just left. Not Callum Wilson. Sorry, James Wilson, who was bagging goals, right? Varela from the academy. Varela we signed from the academy. Zaha was sold. So, who else? Who else did we sign? I can't remember. Or who else did we bring up? Oh, Rashford that year. We had Januzaj. We didn't bring up Januzaj under LVG, but Moyes did. And I'll tell you right now, the level of recruitment back then with Edward Ward is better than what we had right now. Even though I don't rate Edward. I hated Edward Ward so much. I hated the guy. But our recruitment back then was better than what it was right now. If anything is even worse now than what it was back then, because we actually signed some big name players. We actually signed like Paul Pogba. We signed Di Maria. We signed big players of big names. Zlatan, Herrera. Herrera was a good player. We signed. Even we brought Ronaldo back. Like how do we pull that one off? Even though Ronaldo, it wasn't a great time. It wasn't a great time for him. I enjoyed that day so much. That day when he came back was one of the happiest days of my life. Was one of the happiest days of my life supporting United post for Alex Ferguson. I can't lie. I celebrated like it was a trophy.
Fair enough.
Celebrated like a trophy because it was Ronaldo's my favorite player. Varela was my favorite player. Oh, by the way, we were talking about Barcelona, and I remember it was Bartomeu that was the guy that went to jail for fraud. We were talking about fraud, and how corruption was running back in the day as well. I was gonna ask you if you were I was gonna ask you if that who was the guy, but I remember it was Bartomeu. But is anyone else from Barcelona that went to jail for corruption? By the way, can you remind me? I think it was just Bartomeu, right? That's all that went to jail. That's all I can remember. But let's continue. Let's continue what we were saying. We'll wrap it up in a bit, anyways. But any more you want to say on what we said?
Not much else to say, really. I think that segment's reached its natural conclusion.
It does. Glazes out. Ineos. That's all I have to say. Them two groups need to fuck off. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of seeing them run my club to the core. Old Trafford is rotten. The stadium is falling apart. All these plans of a new stadium, this and that. Why don't you just rebuild it? Why don't you just rebuild a training ground as well?
It's genuinely insane what they're doing to your club. I mean, do they not look at Liverpool between 1990 and 2019 and think we need to stop repeating those mistakes?
When did FSG buy Liverpool? Was it 2011, 2012?
2011, yeah. Or at least they had the full stake in by then. Yeah.
Around that.
So, but you're heading towards a Liverpool-esque 30 years without a league title, I think.
We are. I don't think we'll go 30 years. I think it'll be slightly less.
Like 25.
Around 20, 25 years, yeah.
Fair enough.
It just depends on what the ownership situation is. But then I just hope the Glazers just sell the club, because I think some of them are just. By then, I don't know. I hope I'm manifesting it. I'm hoping that the Glazers just decide one day that it's time to sell the club. I'm just waiting for that news. I'm just waiting for that breaking. Glazer ownership put Manchester United up for sale. That would be the best day of my life. That would be the best day of my fucking life if the day they put up the club up for sale, and Ineos go with them as well. I do not want Ineos running my football club. They are just as bad as the Glazers, if not worse. So I want someone who can actually run a club, someone who can actually pump money into it, someone who can pump money in, someone who can actually, decide that, what, we want to do this, we want to do that, upgrade, modernize the football club, turn it into like a modern day football club. We don't need to sell naming rights to for our stadium just to make money off of it. It's disgusting. Leave it as Old Trafford. Don't need to sell naming rights and make it called Old Trafford or something Old Trafford. Imagine
the Emirates Old Trafford.
Imagine it being called Cadbury Old Trafford. Broski.
Sure.
My club is dusted, man. It's dusted. But anyways, people, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's been emotional talking about my club. But we both won this weekend, so we'll definitely take the 3 points going forward. They're not actually. They're actually not. I'm seeing a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans complain. I'm seeing a few Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans complaining about it. Even though I wanted them to win the Super Bowl in 2021. You'll probably know why. Tom Brady. I'm a New England Patriots fan. Tom Brady was the heart and soul of the New England Patriots. Like, he gave everything to the Patriots, like all his life. He was at the Patriots, so he was drafted by us, and he got traded. Not traded. He left New England in 2021, or 2020, excuse me. So I had to support Tom Brady to win. I wasn't supporting the Glazers. I was supporting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of Tom Brady. So it is what it is. And Rob Gronkowski. Sorry, Rob Gronkowski. They have new equipment and facilities. And what? Bro, all they did was just get Tom Brady. That's all they've done. That's the good they've done. But it is what it is. We'll wrap it up here, Josh. Thank you for coming on, man, and thank you for it's
very much.
Really, really good talk, man. Today, really, really good talk today. And
Has been.
On Friday, I'll definitely see you for the Premier League preview show. I think.
Sweet. Sounds like a plan.
I think we should do a much longer Premier League show because Arsenal play Man City. So that one should be a good preview.
I don't want to sit through that crap.
Don't dread it, man. I think Arsenal will win, actually.
City are there for the taking, and Arteta will still be too cautious and pragmatic, and I know what's going to happen, and I'm telling you now, Akabin, we're not winning that game. Bear in mind, if they beat us, we're only 3 points behind us.
Oh yeah, that's true. They are.
Mate.
In their worst year possible.
Mate, oh God. Don Mikel.
But by the way, bro, I did mention Barcelona. Like, can you tell me if there was anyone that went to jail for corruption? Like, I can't remember. I always said Bartomeu off the top of my head. I had to try and butcher that one as well. Bartomeu. Was there anyone else that went to jail because of corruption?
Well, was there anyone related to the Negriera case as well?
I'm not sure. Laporta, I was thinking like someone else. 262 New City formation. 262 New City formation. Only Bartomeu. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I had to butcher that name in my head because I was forgetting who it was, and it came to my mind that Bartomeu was the guy that went to jail for corruption. But yeah, it's what it is. Like I said, corruption is too much now in football. We need to stop it. End corruption, man. That's all I really want. Bring back the sport we love. Don't let
Good luck with that one.
Don't let it get dominated by paper notes with numbers on it, with dollar signs on it. It is what it is. This in the end of the day, it happens. Football. It's football. So we're here to talk. We're here to get emotional. We're here to share our emotions. We're here to, open up issues about our clubs and talk about the beautiful game. So it is what it is. I love saying it is what it is because it is what it is. But bro, thank you once again for coming on, man, and definitely I'll see you on Friday.
No problem. Thanks for having me on again, and I will see you on Friday.
I think there's a Premier League game on Friday night, is there? I think it's Friday night. I think there's a Premier League game this Friday night, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, I don't know. One thing I will say is I do have something on Friday, so I'll warn you in advance when I can do that.
Yeah, no worries. All good, man. All good, man. I think.
So,
Oh no, there isn't a game on Friday. My bad. There isn't a game on Friday. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. We've been here for 2 hours, people. Only thing you can show us right now is loving the chat, and share the video, leave a like. Watch the video, subscribe. January's ending literally in few days, man. Few days. How many? I'm on 114 subs. I'm sure 18 of you watching could click the link and subscribe. I'd be on 130 by now. I've shared the link in the Twitter on Twitter. I know most of you are watching from Twitter. The Twitter link is there. It's in the quotes. Make sure you guys click that link and subscribe. Go to YouTube, leave a like on the video, leave a comment, and make sure you guys show us some love in the chat. Keep it respectful as always. And yeah, we're out, people. Glazers out, Ineos out. Come on, United. Peace. Take care.
come on, Arsenal.